Welcome everyone to some more Genshin Impact. And today, I'm gonna be doing Ayato's story quest. And if I had to be honest, I was kind of thinking, which one I should do first? The Archon quest or Ayato's quest? And considering that I really want to pull and get Ayato on this banner, I decided to do a story quest first. Because, that's sort of what I've been doing, like, for a few, like, updates now. Is to, like, at least do the quest where the character first appears in. Or some equivalent of, like, content before I pull on the banner. So, that is what I'm gonna do. And, I was also thinking, maybe I will also do the Archon quest. But considering some of the Archon quests before, it might be 2 to 3 hours long. And I don't have that time today, so yeah. We're just gonna be doing Ayato's story quest, and after that, we can... I can. I'm the one on the stream. I can pull for Ayato, and I am prepared. And also, I will admit that I did at least unlock the map of the chasm. Oh yeah, I should probably also mention this. When I was going to the chasm, I was stopped by the guards, and basically, one of the guards there recognizes us as during the Chapter 1, Act 3, I think, because it was talking about the Jade Chamber being destroyed. I think it specifically talked about that. So yeah, and then he let us through, and then we got a little bit of a cinematic of us looking at the chasm. And then I avoided every single chest and enemy just to get this activated. Because I wanted to fill in the map. And also, when I was like looking at this map, it kind of looks like a whirlwind of Earth. Like, doesn't that kind of give you the impression? Like, it's like a whirlwind, but it's like of the rocks. Which is really cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, as we all know, the official Twitter, for example, has revealed 2 characters to us. 2 more girls. But that's fine, because that probably means I could skip 2. Whatever the updates after 2.6. So, yeah. So anyway, we're not gonna do any chasm. I don't know what the word is. I say chasm, but the characters and everyone says chasm, and I keep...
Prepare to be blown away!
I didn't mean to press Q. I meant W. But anyways, I do plan to explore that, like on stream, later. Oh yeah, and also, yeah, Archon Quest will be next time. So for now, let us get started with, Ayato. Okay, I don't know how we're... Okay, I'll just unlock it. So, I can't read this. I can't read Latin. Okay, we could get our key. Okay. Oh, we're very close to the location. Okay, so Ayato's story quest, Act 1. Okay, the Fermiana Leaf Falls. Okay, new shoots from old branches. Okay, hit the Inazuma city streets. As you and Paimon pass by Agura Textiles and Kimonos, you bump into 2 rather familiar people. Ooh. Let us go see, shall we? Oh yeah, and also from the patch notes, there is going to be an event storyline. I think next week from when I'm streaming this right now, I think. And, oh yeah, and that's gonna be pre-recorded, because, it is released on separate days. So yeah, I won't be streaming that live, but I will pre-record it and upload it to YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to YouTube, because that's where I upload VODs and recording, like pre-recorded videos. Okay, let us go. Oh yeah, I should probably also point this out. Yeah, even though I'm a little disappointed seeing more girls being released again in Genshin, I actually do like how Kuki Shinobu looks, and considering that obviously she has ties with Ito, that makes her even more interesting. Oh yeah, and also a lot of the Liyue characters have voice lines about Yelan, whatever her name is pronounced. Yeah, so I listened to all those on my own time. Oh yeah, and also I started the game up about like 20 minutes ago, so if it kind of lags, I apologize. Okay, let's go.
Those two look familiar. Ah, it's Ippei and Shinojo!
So it is.
Guess they must be good friends, huh? Anyway, let's go say hi. Hi, Ippei. Hi, Shinojo. What are you guys doing here?
Oh, it's you. Thanks so much for your help last time. I was just ordering some clothes when I ran into him.
You know these two as well?
Yes, they helped me and Master Kamaji out a great deal last time. I've never had the chance to say thank you properly. What about you? How do you know them?
Also a chance encounter. Our lady had them join us as additional guards for a goods escort in order to sneak out of Rito undetected.
So we all know each other, huh? What a coincidence.
Not exactly. We've only just met. We both came here to order some clothes and got to chatting. Somehow we ended up on the topic of Master Kamaji and Lady Hiragi's relationship. Wait, it's okay to talk about that, right?
It's probably fine. They've known about it for a long time already.
Oh, yeah! Paimon remembers those two had a thing. In fact, that was why Chisato wanted us to deliver a letter. That's old news, though. So why has it come up now? Are they taking the next step or something?
We have reason to suspect that they'll be getting married soon.
Wow, that's great! They can finally make it official!
Of course, this is just personal speculation. They haven't announced anything, and we wouldn't dare to ask.
I was instructed to place an order for some formal wear for a big banquet. Turns out that Ippei received the exact same instructions as I did.
They're both preparing for a banquet at the same time. They're both purchasing the kind of fine wine and confectionery normally reserved for big festivals. It's hard not to put two and two together.
Lady Hiragi has been in high spirits recently, and I heard she's on a diet as well. Surely it's all for the wedding.
This is wonderful news! But,
What's wrong? Oh, don't mind me. She's about to be happily married to the love of her life. I genuinely couldn't be happier for her.
Right? I think so too. It's fantastic.
Yes, but we shouldn't let ourselves get overexcited. What if it's all a big misunderstanding? As things stand, we have no actual proof of a wedding. Now, if they sent me out to deliver wedding invitations, that would be a different story.
Shinoju doesn't look like he's taking this very well at all.
Oh. Yeah, you seem down.
Sorry, I just haven't slept well recently. I'm ashamed to be so out of sorts at work. I'm not living up to my responsibilities, either to the Kanjo Commission or to my lady.
Are you worried about their wedding?
Not exactly, it's just everything feels kind of up in the air until they make it official.
I get what you mean, I really do. We need this wedding to be set in stone before the celebrations can really begin.
Actually, you don't get what he means at all.
What should we do? Should we just straight up ask them?
I don't know. That seems a bit rude.
Looks like combined dialogue. Well, since this is a wedding between two commissions, the Ashura Commission oversees wedding ceremonies. They'll know something.
Right! If Ayaka knows about it, that means it's a sure thing.
I don't think it's a good idea to bother the Yashiro Commission about this.
It's fine. She and Ayaka are practically best buds. There's nothing to worry about.
I see. Then thank you. Thank you very much. Having a definite answer will stop my thoughts from running wild.
Let's go to the Kamisato estate.
Okay, there you go. However, considering whose story quest this is, I have a feeling we're gonna meet Ayato instead. Possibly. Unless we are actually going to talk to Ayaka first. Who knows? Oh yeah, did I mention to you guys that I actually got boba for today? I actually got some. Because I told myself I'm not gonna start the stream until I get boba. And I did. And also, it's pretty tasty. I never tried boba before because I never really knew where to get it in my area until recently. And every single time I try to think about getting it, I never do. And it makes me really upset. Especially after seeing people talk about it so much. And I'm finally trying it out. It's like a chocolate flavor one I got, and it's really good. Also, we're taking a long way because I like doing this in games. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my god, that scared me. Oh yeah, I don't think I quite mentioned this, but I haven't been streaming in a while. Okay, I did, but not in recording, I think. But I haven't been streaming in a while because I've been very busy in my personal life because, as you all know, university classes are not easy, and I've been spending my free time, when I'm not working on classwork, playing a game called Trails of Cold Steel 4. And I actually finished Trails of Cold Steel 3 before that, so I've been playing through the 4th game, and I made a good amount of progress. Can't really talk about it without spoiling, but I have made a lot of progress and about like 40 hours into my playthrough, so I am nowhere near the end, by the way. I'm nowhere near the end.
This place impresses me every time I come here. It's so magnificent, but still so elegant.
We'll just wait here. We don't want to cause any extra trouble for you.
Ayaka wouldn't mind.
Honestly, even if we did come with you, we wouldn't know what to say or do once we were inside. So we'll just leave you to it.
All right then, we won't be long.
Okay.
Not to pry, but it seems like there's something on your mind. Do you want to talk about it?
It's nothing. I just didn't sleep well, that's all. Really, I'm fine.
Are you sure? As we know, we probably very much know what's wrong, but let's not pry.
I'm sure the Kamisato clan will be fine.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Without looking at the board, you've ruined my strategy in one move. Amazing. Now what should I do next?
Ayaka, Toma, it's us!
Hey guys, it's been a while. If you're looking for my lady, I'm afraid she's not here right now.
Oh? That voice. Toma, would that happen to be the traveler?
Yes.
Greetings, traveler. Ayaka speaks of you constantly. Finally, today is the day. I am head of the Kamisato clan and Yashiro commissioner, Kamisato Ayato. Greetings, both. I have long been indebted to you on my sister's behalf. Finally, I have the chance to express my profoundest gratitude to you in person. Ayaka is out today. If you are here regarding anything related to the Kamisato clan, you are quite welcome to discuss it with me instead.
Oh, hi. Your flattering words flatter us. Please excuse the suddenness of our visit, for it is most improper etiquette.
Just says Lumi's face.
Why on earth are you talking like that?
Well, he seems like a pretty powerful person. He's already working his way up Paimon's list of people to never mess with. Look! As soon as he stands up, the whole atmosphere in the room changes, and it feels like you gotta be super polite.
You shower me with praise undeserved, my little guest. There is no need to be quite so formal. This is a private residence, so please, relax.
Oh, good. 'Cause that whole spiel was really tiring just now. Alright, now that that's over, Paimon's just gonna ask the question.
So adaptable, Paimon.
We heard a rumor that Kujo Kamaji and Hiragi Chisato are gonna get married soon. Do you know anything about that?
Oh? I wouldn't have thought you'd heard about that yet.
As it happens, we've crossed paths with them before.
I see. Well, it's true. It wasn't long ago that I received the news myself. The head clans of 2 commissions are to become joined through marriage. This is big news for the whole of Inazuma. Since the Yashiro Commission presides over cultural and ceremonial affairs, it closely involves us, too.
Yes. And since the commissions are kind of the face of the Almighty Shogun to the masses, this wedding is one that we have to treat as a serious affair.
Right! Makes sense. Ah, 2 true lovers becoming husband and wife. What a happy occasion!
It is. High-profile matrimonial links between 2 commissions are extremely rare. But these 2 truly love each other. Tradition should give way to freedom in this case.
All right then. I'll be sure to pay them a visit to send the best wishes of the Kamisato clan.
No need. I'll visit them personally this time.
Huh? But you have other things to be doing.
This is a marriage between the Kujo clan and the Hiragi clan. The Kamisato clan must demonstrate an appropriate level of respect. The work of the Yashiro Commission is indeed multifarious. Normally, weddings and other ceremonies would come under the supervision of my sister. But she is presently occupied with other matters, and I happen to have a little time to spare. This will be a good chance for me to pay a visit to the bride and groom. Oh, and would you 2 care to join me?
You mean us?
I presume you 2 have a special connection with the individuals in question, or you would not be quite so interested in this matter. This being the case, why not come and offer your best wishes too? Or is my presumption incorrect?
Oh, it's not as interesting as you make it sound. No special connections here. Super ordinary ones, actually. We just agreed to help deliver a letter this one time, that's all. Although wait, does that mean we helped make this wedding happen?
Paimon, don't overestimate your contribution here.
Alright then.
But still, let's go see them.
I cannot thank you enough. Your mere presence shall surely mean we are spared the futile pursuit known as small talk.
Wait, you're the Yashiro Commissioner, but you can't do small talk?
Small talk is a chore. Of course, there are some people in the world who quite enjoy doing chores, but I am not one of them. Toma, I'm heading out with my 2 guests now. I'll leave the residence in your capable hands.
Not a problem. Take care, my lord. What's wrong? Are you worried about having to be on your best behavior around my lord? Don't be nervous. He's actually pretty easy to get along with. Well, the vast majority of the time, at least.
Oh dear. Oh, we know about all that from the hints that were already scattered through the game. And also, it took me this long to realize my Sealy has been floating around. Okay, let's go. Oh, and also what's amazing? Ayato is voiced by Chris Hackney. And, as some of you may not know, I have played Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I did play Blue Lions, and Ayato and Dimitri have the same English voice actor. So when I heard it, when the voice announcement was made, like, live on the stream, I just screamed. Or I tried to, as it was literally 7 in the morning. Was it? Or, no, 8 in the morning. Right, time something. And, some people were still kind of sleeping, so... yeah.
Ah, you're finally...
Yashiro Commissioner!
Who are these two?
They're friends of ours. Paimon will do the introductions.
Okay, the introductions.
So it's true. Well, there we have it. That's it then. So be it.
Great, so our hunch was spot on.
It is a little inappropriate for me to have shared news of this magnitude with you. So I would be much obliged if you could keep it in strict confidence until an official public announcement is made.
Don't worry, sir. We give you our word. We won't tell anyone about it.
That puts my mind at ease. Now, on the topic. We'd like to pay a visit to the Kujo clan. Would you mind leading the way for us?
Of course not. I'd be honored.
I guess this is where I... Goodbye then.
Aw, cheer up, Shanojo.
I'll try. Thank you.
Oh. Poor guy. Okay, go all the way there. I kind of want to walk because I like to walk and talk. So that's what I'm gonna do. Also, it's kind of loud. On my end, not for you guys. But also, yeah, like Ayato and Dimitri share the same English voice actor. Oh, all right. This is now like all over the game, by the way. Now, like these little things. Oh yeah, I think part of me was thinking I could collect those later, but I'm not sure. I will have to. I'll have to think about it. It depends on how much time will be left on the stream. I'll think about it. Anyways. Okay, so I got 1 and 56 now. Oh, I have to keep track of that. Wait, what was Don Winery's number of the thing? I'll figure it out later. For now, let's go. Oh, it's raining. Oh yeah, I have no. My alt is not ready because I accidentally used it at the start. But anyways, as I was trying to mention, yeah. So the two sharing an English voice actor, and I really like Dimitri from Three Houses, so. Like, also, like, I know, like, people have, like, speculated their guesses when we heard Ayato in Ito's character teaser. But of course, we couldn't really talk about it too much because, you know, we have to respect NDAs and all that for the people. Otherwise, they get replaced. So maybe I didn't guess immediately, personally, but I think a part of me kind of knew a little bit, and no wonder I like Ayato so much before, like, before the special program confirmed it. I mean, other than all the, you know, the little hints and details we got officially in the voiceovers and NPCs. So yay! I can't wait to get him. Oh yeah, and also because Yunjin is on the banner, I might be able to get her, but I'm not gonna really level her because, no. I already built enough Geo characters. I'm tired. I feel like at this point, like, if I get characters I don't really want, I'm just gonna leave them at level 20 and never, like, leave them at level 20 and get them to friendship level 10 and never put them in a party ever again. Oh, it's over here. Right. Where are my glasses? Ow. I haven't mentioned that literally like 20 minutes before I started the stream, I got home. Yeah, so I'm kind of like still a little tired from getting back. Huh.
All right then. Please excuse me. I'll leave you to it from here.
Okay. Thanks, Ippei. I apologize that your impromptu visit comes at a busy time for us, Commissioner. Otherwise, you can be sure that we would have prepared a more extravagant reception.
I don't mean to impose, Sir Kujo. In fact, I'm not here on official business at all. I heard the good news about yourself and Lady Hiragi. What a glorious marital alliance this shall be. Given the close ties between our clans, it seemed only right that I should come and offer the Kamisato clan's congratulations in person.
I'm truly honored. I hope the news didn't come as too much of a surprise.
Hey there! We came to congratulate you as well!
How have you been?
Since the incident with the Takatsukasa clan, things in the Tenryou Commission have slowly started to stabilize. I'm still acclimating to the position of acting head of the clan. I just hope I'm up to the task, so I can live up to everyone's expectations.
You're far too modest. The public thinks very highly of you. They say you're hardworking, upright, and responsible.
I'm flattered, but I wouldn't have achieved anything without the support of my people. Thanks to them, everything is gradually stabilizing, and I finally had the chance to focus a little on my personal life.
Well, you're certainly making big progress in that department.
Sounds like it was worth sending that letter.
Come on now, you're embarrassing me. Pardon me,
It's perfectly all right. Please, continue. I'm quite content to listen. It's a joyous occasion. Light-hearted is exactly how things should be. Really, who stays stony-faced when talking about a wedding?
You're right. But I am curious to know, what's your honest opinion on the whole thing? Do you think it's too sudden?
Of course not. Where there is true love, nothing should be allowed to stand in its way. No doubt people will offer you a colorful variety of opinions. But of course, you will have factored this into your decision, and I'm sure you are prepared for whatever challenges may lie ahead.
Indeed I am.
So, please be confident. When your mind is made up, you ought not be worried about things for which you are already well prepared. Nevertheless, there is just one small aspect of this that puzzles me a little.
Please, go ahead.
You've been working hard to bring the Tenryou Commission in line. This is positive, and no doubt the beginning of important change. But on the other side of this equation, Lady Hiragi's father, Hiragi Shinsuke, is still in prison. If you choose now, of all moments, to announce a marriage between the Hiragi and Kujo clans, the kinds of rumors that may begin to spread both among the general public and in the Kanjo Commission are not likely to be in either of your best interests.
Yeah. Couldn't have put it better myself, Sir Kamisato. This has been my biggest concern for quite a while now. Hiragi Shinsuke is firmly against me having any contact at all with Chisato. In the past, we've always had to communicate in secret by sending letters. So although now may not look like the best timing for this marriage, it may well be the only opportunity we have.
Oh, that guy? Yeah, he acts like this sweet old man, but he was determined to make as much trouble for us as possible. Oh, he is the worst!
I can see where you're coming from, but you're only postponing the problem, not solving it. You will still have to face it sooner or later.
Yes, I'm well aware of that. But since Chisato had the courage to ask me to marry her in spite of everything, how can I disappoint her?
Oh, so she proposed to you?
Well, sort of. She raised the idea in a letter, and after some initial hesitation, I went to meet her and have a serious conversation about our future. It's funny, actually, because when I formally proposed to her in person, she denied having ever written that letter. So coy.
Huh? Really?
Maybe she prefers things to be more implicit?
She didn't say. She just acted confused by the whole thing. She really committed to it. I'll never forget the look on her face.
Oh.
Anyway, as her boyfriend, I knew she was just pretending, so I played along and said, I was only joking about the letter, and then I proposed. After making some disgruntled noises about me making a stupid joke, she blushed and said yes. We spent that afternoon working through all the details of the wedding.
Okay. So you discussed it and decided on a date?
We did. I guess it was a chance to finally express our commitment to one another, clearly and completely. And you know what? I think it was about time. No matter what happens next, I will always be there for her as the one person she can always rely on.
Oh, give me a break. Sorry, but Paimon's been wanting to say this the whole time. Is it just this dude, or does everyone in love act like this? He just won't stop talking.
Well, nothing can stop him from sharing his love story.
Apologies, my friends. And also to Sir Kamisato. I must sound like a fool.
Far from it. On the contrary, seeing you so positively smitten puts my mind at rest. No surer evidence could there be of your true feelings and your commitment. If I had any reservations before, I certainly don't now. I wish you a joyous wedding when the day comes.
Yeah, even if it's kinda irritating to see you all smug like this, it's still a happy occasion. Good luck on the day, and have a happy wedding!
Thank you all. It means a lot.
We have some other business to attend to now. Until next time.
Very well. I'll see you out.
He seems busy. That must be true for anyone about to get married, right? It's a happy kind of busy, though.
You're right. Kujo Kamaji is on Cloud 9. What do you think, Traveler?
He seems genuinely happy, but I'm bothered by how the whole thing began.
He chalked it up to her being coy, but that doesn't sound like the Hiragi Chisato I know. It bothers me also. But, unfortunately, attempting to seek the truth of the matter would likely be fruitless.
How so?
Yeah, how come? Whenever we come across stuff like this on our adventures, we always find a way to get to the bottom of it.
I see. So that's how adventurers think. In my opinion, we face two obstacles in this case. Firstly, We have very little information to go on, and I must be cautious about taking a stance. This makes it difficult to investigate. Secondly, and more importantly, the person involved doesn't seem to care. If we intervene without his blessing, good intentions may lead to catastrophic results.
You do have a point. Kamaji doesn't seem worried at all.
Everything in the world is intertwined. What looks like a simple outcome is often the result of multiple conflating reasons. Seeking the full truth would be a long and laborious process. It would be inefficient.
Speaking from experience?
Sort of. I have to take this approach, or the work of the Yashiro Commissioner would never be done. My opinion is something like this. When something strange happens, instead of trying to find out what could have caused it, it is better to look at the situation itself. If the outcome is positive, and no one was deceived or harmed in the process, then it is acceptable.
But, are there really no negative consequences to this?
We don't know yet. After all, we don't know what Hiragi Chisato's thoughts are, do we? I have to say, I'm impressed by your ability to zero in on the issue from such a short meeting. Most insightful of you. You are thorough and thoughtful, just as my sister describes.
Huh? But Chisato and Kamaji have already talked everything through, haven't they?
Only if we are to take Kujo Kamaji at his word. But there are two sides to every story. I wish to know Hiragi Chisato's angle on this.
Huh. Makes sense, but Paimon still doesn't quite get it.
Don't worry about it. I was planning to visit the Hiragi clan to deliver my best wishes anyway. Let's take the opportunity to hear her thoughts. If she's as committed as Kujo Kamaji, perhaps they can navigate the challenges ahead successfully. But if not... well, life isn't always a smooth journey.
Okay, and go to the Hiragi estate. Okay, unlike this one, I'm just gonna teleport a bit closer. I'll still walk a distance, but it's not gonna take like too long. Okay, let's go. Oh yeah. Also another thing why... Did I mention I was a bit tired? Because if I did, another reason why I'm tired other than coming back home like, you know, like an hour ago now, I think? Yeah, roughly. Is that I literally only had about, how do I put this? I only had about like 6 hours of sleep last night. Because what I thought was a good idea was playing a tiny bit more Trails of Cold Steel 4. And I did one of the Affinity events. Specifically the one I'm purposely pursuing. And because I obviously pursued it in Cold Steel 3 and that transferred in my save file. Basically the two are like... It's not like anything bad, but it's because they have their own personal problems going on. Like... Which I can't say because spoilers. They have to, like, remain as friends. And I'm like, I'm sad now. And that kept me up pretty much a good number of times throughout the night. So, yeah. That's why I'm also tired. Because I was sad from a video game. Oh, what's going on here?
There is still much to prepare for the wedding. Should we also invite some prominent business leaders who frequently visit Rito?
At the very least, we should send them invitations.
I agree. Ah, hello there, Yashiro Commissioner. To what do we owe the honor on this fine day?
As it happens, I'm here regarding the same wedding I believe I heard you discussing just now. I come bearing the felicitations of the Kamisato clan. Would Lady Hiragi happen to be available at this moment?
Our lady is entertaining guests right now, and we're not entirely sure how long she will be.
But please, do come in. We will arrange some tea and snacks for you and your attendants.
Hey, Paimon is not an attendant!
You misunderstand. These two are dear friends.
You're too kind.
We don't wish to impose. We'll just wander around in the general area. Apologies for the interruption while you're busy with preparations. Please, let us know once Lady Hiragi is available.
Nonsense, Commissioner. No imposition at all. This wedding is a joyful occasion, and all the other clans who serve the Hiragi clan are most delighted for them indeed. We're merely doing the best we can to make this wedding as grand an affair as possible.
When the time comes, we'll invite everyone in the clan and even the general public to attend.
That sounds splendid. We'll leave you to it.
Take care, Commissioner.
Seems like you guys talked a lot without actually saying anything.
Hence why I dislike small talk. Our timing was not ideal, but never mind. I spotted a stall on our way over where we can pass the time. The owner always manages to come up with novel ideas. I'm one of his regular customers.
Now, where were we again? Ah, yes. Invitations.
My family can take charge of that. We have a lot of written correspondence with them already.
Sounds sensible to me. Then, thank you.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go kill some time in retail. And the time of day is changing yet again.
Oh, it's Tomoki!
Ah, it's you. Good to see you again. Seems like you're always showing up with a VIP in tow.
Oh? So you know the owner as well?
Yup, we tried his dango milk a while back with the almighty Shogun in Inazuma City.
Ah, I see. So you were involved in that. I'd caught wind of this dango milk, but I didn't know that it had anything to do with you two.
It was a twist of fate.
I always order one of his creative drinks whenever I pass the stall. The flavor is always new and interesting. When I noticed he'd set up shop in Rito, I simply had to come by.
Oh, thanks to you all, my business is finally beginning to take off. More and more people are willing to give my creative cuisine a shot. It gave me the confidence to decide that I'm going to stick to creative cuisine from now on. On the one hand, I wanted more people to be able to try out my culinary creations. On the other hand, I wanted my customers to experience the joy of being creative too. So I gave it a lot of thought and finally came up with an all-new business concept.
Sounds interesting. What is it this time?
I've decided to give complete creative control to the customer. I offer all sorts of ingredients, and they pick and choose whatever they want to mix with their milk or tea. As well as dango, I now offer rice cake, purple potato balls, black sugar, and sunsettia.
Do they really all go well with milk? Hard to imagine, but who knows? It could be delicious.
What if I were to choose some ingredients you don't have here? Would that be okay?
Well, I guess so. Any novel ideas you have, Commissioner, please feel free to tell me. I'll go buy the ingredients right away. The whole idea was to let my customers express their creativity freely. So of course, I shouldn't place restrictions on the ingredients if I can help it.
Excellent. There are a few things I'd like to try. Lavender melon, seagrass, and sea ganoderma.
What? You wanna mix those with milk?
I do indeed. Why? What's wrong?
You really think that's gonna turn out tasty something good?
It's all about the experience. The taste is secondary. It's great to try new things. Traveler, any thoughts?
Lavender melon? I don't know, these are really, really strange. I don't understand.
Sounds like a risky choice. Are you sure? Well, okay. Paimon will have the same as you.
3 milks with lavender melon, please.
No problem. Give me a second, I'll have them ready in just a moment.
The crate of milk is really...
Here, your milk is ready. Give it a try.
Yep, just as Paimon suspected. Raw lavender melon does not taste good.
I think it tastes all right. It makes me feel in touch with Mother Nature.
Your review seemed pretty positive, but Paimon still thinks there are better combinations.
Taste is your key concern, yes?
Obviously! Tasty food and drinks are some of life's most important pursuits.
Well said. If I could say the same was true for me, I believe I'd be a very content man.
In other words, you have too many other things to worry about?
Yes. No one has unlimited energy, and I try to conserve mine for the things that really count. To create some mental breathing room, I try not to overthink the less critical matters. Having my sister attend public events in my stead and having Toma as housekeeper has also been a great help and allowed me to focus.
We're just passing the time here though, right? Is there anything else to think about than what we're doing right now?
1 or 2 things. Let's continue this discussion somewhere else. I noticed something before we left the Hiragi clan's residence.
You overheard those guys talking about something?
No, it was just a small detail. I was curious to know their thoughts on the wedding, so I asked them about it. Naturally, they responded that all other clans are happy for the Hiragi clan. But that's not the truth.
What do you mean?
Hiragi Shinsuke is still in prison, meaning the Kanjo Commission is the least stable in the Tri-Commission. Hiragi Chisato is the sole remaining pillar of her clan, but now she plans to marry into the Kujo clan. If I belonged to one of the assisting clans to the Hiragis, I would not be feeling optimistic about the future. But they didn't mention a word about that. They simply said they were delighted for them. These are not unintelligent people. I highly doubt it is because they simply do not realize.
I guess it is a bit strange.
I imagine they didn't want to discuss family issues in front of outsiders. But still, the more I think back over that conversation, the more it doesn't sit right. Keep a close eye on them, Hisashi.
Yes, sir.
Whoa! Where did you come from?
This is one of my most trusted members of the Shumatsuban. He's been quietly watching out for us this whole time.
Merely doing my duty, sir.
Keep a close watch on the clan representatives we met today.
Well received. I'm on the case.
Oh, and I almost forgot. That milk I just had? Please order one more and deliver it to Toma.
Oh no.
As you wish, sir.
Oh no, poor Toma.
Oh, sorry, Toma. Good luck, Toma.
Sir Kamisato, Lady Hiragi's previous engagement is now concluded. She's waiting for you in the courtyard.
Thank you kindly. Let's go and see Hiragi Chisato.
Oh no. I mean, based on what we already know, Toma does get weird things from Ayato. Oh dear. Anyways, let's continue. Oh.
Hi, nice to see
heard that Sir Kamisato had brought some guests, but I didn't know it was you two.
It's been a while, Lady Hiragi. How have you been faring?
This is a rare privilege, Sir Kamisato. It is not often that I have the chance to meet you, let alone here in the comfort of my own home. I'm doing very well indeed, thank you. You must be so busy. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and congratulate Kamaji and I. It really means a lot.
But of course. The Tri-Commission are the servants of the Shogun, and we should look out for one another. In fact, we visited Sir Kujo just now. It's clear that he's very much looking forward to the wedding. Perhaps his joy is infectious, for I am now feeling rather elated myself. I sincerely wish you a joyful wedding and a blissful marriage.
Thank you for your kind words. This was not an easy decision to make. We will both have to work harder from now on. I'm sure the news will cause something of a stir. But come what may, we will stand as one and face whatever the future throws at us, together.
Sounds like things are pretty tough for you, Chisato.
Yes. To be honest, I'm still a little nervous about it all. But Kamaji has been so supportive. His promises have comforted me a lot.
It sounds like you have some considerable reservations, Lady Hiragi.
Yes. Well, there are so many things I need to consider. In case you were wondering, I was not actually entertaining VIPs just now. I was in fact meeting with one of the Kanjo Commission's officers, Shinojo.
Oh! Really? Him?
Mm-hmm. He charged in all of a sudden and said that he had something very important to tell me. He didn't mince his words. Basically, he doesn't want me to marry Kamaji.
He finally went there.
He has always been a calm and contained person who never acts out of line. I was quite shocked to see him so agitated. But despite all that, what he was saying made a lot of sense. He thinks that now is a bad time for this wedding to happen. He pointed out that I am like the final pillar propping up my clan. If I marry into the Kujo clan, that pillar is taken away. There will no longer be a voice of authority in the Hiragi clan. And it could be a disastrous move for my personal image, too.
It's just two families becoming one big family, though, right? What's the big deal?
Traditionally, in Inazuma, clan affiliation influences every facet of life. After the wedding, Lady Hiragi will belong to the Kujo clan. The Kanjo Commission's attitude toward you may undergo some significant changes thereafter.
Precisely. This is a terrible thing to be saying, but I'm starting to have second thoughts. Maybe I went along with it all too easily. Maybe I allowed myself to be pushed into this. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I'm making my guests listen to me complaining.
No problem at all. The Yashiro Commission has a duty to listen to you. Now that I've heard your concerns, I should offer to help you as best I can. For instance, by helping you gather your thoughts on the matter. Now, we heard from Sir Kujo that his decision to tie the knot was prompted by a letter he received from you. But we've also heard that you did not write that letter. Sir Kujo thought that perhaps you were just being coy. Oh, dear. Perhaps I should have kept that part to myself.
What? But that was... It was just a prop in his playful proposal, wasn't it? It was clearly purpose-designed, what with all the fancy lettering and so on.
Fancy lettering, you say? So I am to understand that had it not been for this letter, you two may not have chosen this moment to be wed?
When it comes down to it... yes, I think so. Oh, do you mean to say that this letter is not what I thought it to be?
Sir Kujo maintains that the letter was penned by your hand.
Huh? But then... sounded...
Either way, it's wonderful to see how much you both trust one another. In that sense, you could say that the origin of the letter is ultimately not of great importance. Who knows? Perhaps Sir Kujo was the one being coy. After all, he had no particular reason to be forthcoming with us about the details of his playful proposal.
I understand. As you say, ultimately, the origin of the letter doesn't matter. But my position does matter. Kamaji and I thought that we needn't worry about anything that lies ahead, because we can face it all together. But now, I think I should give it some more thought.
Marriage is the most important decision of your life. Don't let yourself regret it. It is also part of the Yashiro Commission's job to help people through difficult times. I say this as an advocate for you personally, and for the Hiragi clan. Please, do not be compelled by circumstances to make any decision that goes against your will. To be together with the one you love is a sacred thing. It is my earnest wish that both of you may enjoy a bright and beautiful future, not a bittersweet one.
I'll take to heart every word you have said to me. I can't thank you enough, Sir Kamisato. I'll think very carefully about your advice.
All that matters is that you follow your heart. Since you'll be needing some time to think things over, we will excuse ourselves now.
Oh, wait! Let me see you out.
Thank you, Lady Hiragi, but there will be no need. Traveler, let's find somewhere to talk.
What should I do? Oh, Kamaji.
Yeah. A very, suspicious situation going on in the background. Okay, so apparently we had to go all the way here to talk. All the trees.
Hiragi Chisato is on a totally different page than Kujo Kamaji. Ayato, why did you give her such vague suggestions? Couldn't you just have told her what you'd do in her position? 'Cause Paimon's pretty sure you have an idea.
I've said everything I can given the Yashiro Commission's stance. Interfering too much with other commissions' domestic issues will only create trouble. The more I think about it, the stranger this all seems. But Hiragi Chisato has yet to see it. We must be vigilant.
Strange? In what way?
Someone wants Hiragi Chisato to be married as soon as possible, and if my guess is right, it is someone from within the Kanjo Commission. This person is presumably also responsible for the mysterious and misleading letter. Think about this. A lowly officer is greatly worried about Hiragi Chisato's future, while the heads of the supporting clans ostensibly have no concern at all. It doesn't add up. When someone's words and actions do not match, you need to infer their intentions from their behavior.
So, I don't know what the word means. So, is someone coveting Hiragi Chisato's position?
Yes. It's a smart strategy. Far superior to the one adopted by the Tenryou Commission's Takatsukasa clan. Even had the forged letter failed and been seen for what it was, there would have been no repercussions. They could simply have explained it away as a misguided but well-meaning matchmaking attempt by a member of the family. But if the letter were to achieve its goal, as it has so far, the perpetrator would successfully weaken the Hiragi clan without ever having to lift a finger against them, all under the guise of simply encouraging a wedding. With Hiragi Chisato having married into the Kujo clan and the head of the Hiragi clan in prison, challenges to the Hiragi clan's leadership would begin to emerge throughout the ranks of the Kanjo Commission. Eventually, another clan would take the Hiragi clan's place.
A reasonable theory, but it's just a theory.
Actually, we have evidence. His name is Shinojo.
Shinojo?
He should be back by now.
Yes, sir.
That's the second time you've done that! Paimon cannot deal with this.
Did they take one of the Kanjo Commission officers away?
Yes. His name is Shinojo.
As I expected. They cannot afford to let this opportunity pass them by. They have to act now while the Hiragi clan is at its weakest. Hiragi Chisato had been persuaded by Kujo Kamaji, and the wedding was sure to go ahead. But, after Chisato's meeting with Shinojo, she began to have second thoughts. In their eyes, Officer Shinojo has interfered with their plan.
But why did they suspect him and not us?
Someone was eavesdropping on our conversation with Chisato the entire time. That's why I was a little reserved.
No way! Whew. Lucky Paimon didn't say anything stupid. But Chisato got what you meant about the letter though, right?
I think so. But whoever is behind this will not allow their plan to fail now. They will not be inclined to respect Hiragi Chisato's own wishes. Her stance was so passive that she was easily manipulated, treated like a pawn, with even her marriage becoming a battleground for political power play. Despite all of this, she still believed that a happy future was awaiting her. When she formally marries into the Kujo clan, she will lose her title as daughter of the Hiragi clan, her position in the Kanjo Commission, and above all, her independence.
Marriage is such a trap.
Well, we can't let this evil plan come to fruition.
Easier said than done. The perpetrators are manipulating everything from the shadows, letting unsuspecting pawns do their work. This is what makes their approach so smart. We, meanwhile, are out in the open. If we attempt to stop this wedding from happening, we will become the villains of the story and face immense public backlash.
So what are we gonna do?
At this stage, if the perpetrators wish to maintain control over the situation, their only option is to come out from the shadows and bare their fangs. I will wait for that moment to arrive. But first things first, we must go and rescue Shinojo. He has done nothing wrong and does not deserve to be punished. Tell me where Shinojo is. We'll head off right now.
The truth is also a lie. Go and save Shinojo. Let's go. Oh my god, if these like little disc things are all over the game, which they definitely are, considering I found 2 of them now. Oh yeah, in my inventory you only see 1 because I already put it into my teapot. Oh, you guys see my orbs. The intertwined face. We'll discuss that when I pull for Ayato later. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Wait, where is this? Oh no. Run! Okay, I can teleport, but I'm lazy. Meanwhile, we could go off topic a little bit and we'll talk about random stuff. Well, not really random stuff, just trails. Because, again, I played Cold Steel 3, finished that, now on Cold Steel 4, and probably like 100 hours away from the ending at this point. I don't know how long the game will take for me. I'm on like Act 2 after like Act 2 and the second set of Bond events, if that helps. I just started that section of the game. Well, sorta. I did one of the events already because it was a character I will definitely pursue for the romance thing. Yeah. Oh, it won't take too long to get there. But yeah, I definitely didn't really sleep much because that affinity event made me sad. But to be fair, I did expect such a thing. Because I did kind of like think about it a lot. Like their situation. Like, so. Oh no.
Shake it and stir!
Face. Off shield. But yeah. Well, considering obviously how like Cold Steel 4 is looking, like so far in my playthrough, I know that like the relationship can be rekindled in story, so like if I continue to pursue it, which I will. So I'm trying to tell myself that a million times. Investigate the situation inside the cave. Oh dear. Oh god, lag. They got him in a cage. Okay.
What are you doing? Release Shinojo this instant!
Stop this at once.
It's the Yashiro Commissioner. Well, we take orders from our master. No one else.
Really? Then please, excuse me.
Battle formation! Get them!
Oops.
Cascade!
Why is it?
I've lost.
Be still.
I love this skill too much.
You must withdraw.
Oh my gosh.
Blast. Let's go. We must report to Master right away.
Hey, get back here!
No need to follow them. We need bait to catch the fish anyway. Leave them be. I think I saw a key fall to the ground during the fight. Let's free Shinojo first. But in all the chaos, it must have been kicked to one side. Where did it end up?
What the? It's a tanuki? Oh, don't tell Paimon that the tanuki took it!
Let's follow it and see.
Oh dear.
Oh, thank the gods you're here. Please help me.
It's okay, we will. We just have to follow the tanuki. Oh my god. Oh yeah, another thing, I have tried out Ayato's trial run in the event tab like a few times because I really love how his kit works. Skills. I like how his kit looks and I like his skills. And I've been... Oh my gosh, the damage is so basic. Anyways. Is it this tanuki we're looking at? Where did tanuki go? Wait, no, seriously, where did it go? Oh, there we go. It's a box. Oh, there's the key. Okay, let's go. Get him out of there. Oh gosh.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got hit by the door.
It was terrifying. They said they were gonna throw the cage into the sea with me still inside.
Oh dear.
Oh, wait. You have to listen to me. Lady Chisato's wedding. It's all part of a scheme. Someone's trying to use the wedding for their own ends.
Calm down, Shinojo. It's okay. We knew about all that.
Huh?
Our suspicions were roused to this possibility, and so far, everything is unfolding rather as we expected. Those behind this plan are not going to give up easily. Their next move is imminent. We must devise sufficient countermeasures.
Yashiro Commissioner, you're personally going to take action?
This situation has consequences for the whole Tri-Commission, and the stability of all Inazuma is at stake. My hitherto neutral stance ends now. The almighty Shogun has always despised these pathetic power games. As a commissioner, I am a servant of the Shogun, and it is therefore my duty to handle these tiresome matters on her behalf.
That's true.
Shinojo, don't return to your post yet. Find somewhere safe and stay hidden. Traveler, Paimon, let's get out of here.
Well, if it isn't the Yashiro Commissioner. I hear you showed up here with no explanation and attacked my men. You wouldn't happen to be carrying out some sort of secret mission, now would you?
I heard that someone was taking the law into their own hands. As a responsible official of Inazuma, I could not in good conscience stand idly by. Shinojo may be your retainer, but the law does not grant you the right to abuse him.
Abuse? Nonsense. I was just teaching him a lesson. Out of nowhere, a low-ranking officer decides to barge in on Lady Hiragi and start spouting out the most absurd and insulting nonsense one can imagine. A truly egregious loss of decorum. I dare say, the poor lady was terrified.
So, you're saying that you know absolutely nothing of the reasons for his actions? Because otherwise, why would you describe it as out of nowhere?
Two people from two different clans are getting married. That's all there is to it. And yet this young gentleman took it upon himself to fabricate a nonsensical disaster story around it. How should I know what he was thinking? Even if she marries into the Kujo clan, Lady Hiragi will always be the daughter of the Hiragi clan and the most distinguished member of the Konjo Commission. We are, and always will be, her loyal assistants. It's our duty to see that she never has to worry about anything. Loyalty and duty are our guiding principles. Not only did this guard show no regard for either, he went out of his way to upset our lady. How could one do such a thing? Even if we put it down to a rare moment of impulsivity. I have to say, I'm surprised to see one of such noble standing as yourself rushing to his defense.
Darn it! This guy is good. Annoyingly good.
He's a slime ball, but he's also difficult to argue against.
Funny. I'm suddenly reminded of an anecdote I'd like to share with you. There's not been a dull moment since I took up my post in the Yashiro Commission. Every day I've been exposed to new and fascinating things. For instance, a merchant from abroad once told me about a curious kind of bird with the most extraordinarily long tongue. So long, in fact, that you can tie 2 knots in the portion of it that extends out of its beak. I'm sure someone as erudite as yourself could be able to guess what people do with these unusual avians.
Keep them as pets.
You'd think, wouldn't you? But there's a catch. You see, this bird is of no use to humans whatsoever, and certainly doesn't make a suitable pet. If you catch one, the best thing you can do is actually cut its tongue off and throw it out of the window.
Oh dear.
The reason they give is this. The longest tongue has the most to say, but don't be deceived as it chirps away, lest the song it sings lead you astray.
I say, Yashiro Commissioner, are you here simply to mock the Konjo Commission?
Far from it. In my mind, the Konjo Commission is made up of honorable individuals, upright and forthright, conscientious and loyal. It is unbecoming of such people to resort to lies, deception, and filibustering, All as part of a plan to remove Lady Hiragi from her position in the Kanjo Commission.
Yashiro Commissioner, please don't make accusations without any evidence.
The evidence is standing right in front of me, is it not? I have a credible witness who can confirm you were quick to try and make him disappear as soon as he said something that you did not like. Ugh, dear me. I can't believe the Grand Matsura clan is now represented by someone with less of a sense of loyalty than even an ordinary servant. You studied hard and took a government position, only to make it to where you are now just to play these petty power games behind the scenes. I'm not sure whether it's because you're smart enough to play the system, or too foolish to know any better. In your years of service to the Shogun, not only have you managed to glean nothing good from the people around you, you have also let yourself be blinded by self-interest. And now you have ruined your once bright future. I'm not angry, Mr. Matsura. I just feel sorry for you.
Is that right? Then tell me, if you're so bright, what exactly do you think you can do to me? This is at most a Kanjo Commission issue. We'll handle this amongst ourselves. You are reaching rather outside of your bounds, Yashiro Commissioner. If you seek to involve yourself in other clans' affairs, might I be so bold then, as to question your motives in doing so? I think you are simply opposed to an alliance between the Kanjo Commission and Tenryou Commission, because the new balance of power in the Tri-Commission would be a threat to you personally. So you come here with an elaborate excuse to try and break up this marriage.
So, that's how you view it. Well, I have to admit, you clearly are far more talented than I at monitoring the power balance within the Tri-Commission.
Let me be crystal clear. This wedding is going to happen, and nothing is going to change that. The notices have already been sent out. All of Inazuma City knows about it now. Most of the public weren't aware that Kujo Kamaji and Hiragi Chisato were courting, but you can bet it's all anybody's talking about now. Once the notices go out, that's it. The wedding is a sure thing, even if it hasn't happened just yet.
I see. It seems like I was wrong.
So suddenly we see eye to eye?
I had expected you to at least be smarter than most. But it seems that I was gravely mistaken.
Kamisato Ayato! You... How dare you!
You've made your move. Now, I suppose it's time I made mine.
What do you mean?
Do you seriously think this marriage will bring the Kanjo Commission and the Tenryou Commission together? Isn't it at all possible that the Kanjo Commission becomes marginalized as a consequence of this union? Goodness me. Well, I've learned a great deal from talking to you. That will be all for now. If you would excuse me, I shall take my leave.
Hey! Hey! What was all that? Paimon didn't follow at all.
They had their scheme, but fortunately I was prepared. As I said, they ended up coming out from the shadows and revealing themselves. Let's see how things are in Inazuma City. Then, I'll take you through the details of my plan.
That random person trying to join my world. Okay, get it. Okay. Check the current situation using the city bulletin board. Okay. I'll go here. I do think that, like, people could technically join my world while I'm doing a story quest, but I'm pretty sure you can't. Like, world quest, most of them, yes. Never mind. I think it's mainly Archon quest thing. I don't know. Let me take a sip of my tea. I mean, boba. Oh gosh, so many voices. Ah.
Must have her reasons.
Where's the infinite bulletin boards? Well, we're going specifically to the one up here.
Look at this. The daughter of the Kanjo Commission's Hiragi clan and the master of the Tenryou Commission's Kujo clan are getting married.
Sounds like an all-around perfect match, don't you think?
For sure. I'm just surprised. It seems very sudden. I hadn't heard a single word about it until now.
Good luck to them, I say. I'm sure it must have been a hard decision.
Looks like the wedding is definitely going ahead.
It's still too early to make that conclusion. Our adversary wants to push this marriage past the point of no return. However, we can still beat them at their own game. But only if Kujo Kamaji is willing to help us.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Oh, my elemental burst is back up.
Welcome. I just heard that the news of my wedding has been officially announced. It seems so sudden. I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, about that, it's kinda complicated.
I see. So someone's trying to take advantage of our marriage.
If you proceed with the wedding, the repercussions for you are likely to be minimal. But we must take Lady Hiragi's situation into consideration.
I've previously considered this possibility. But in the end, we're getting married for true love. And I promised her that I'll do everything in my power to protect her.
Sorry about that, guys. I have no idea why my phone went off like that. Oh god, that scared me. God. If anyone doesn't know what that noise was, it's like an emergency alert that comes from the phone. It's because the weather is pretty messy outside. Oh my god, my heart.
I understand where you're coming from, but to be frank, she should not need your protection. Or, to put it another way, you have tacitly admitted that Lady Hiragi will need your help to get through the hard times ahead, which perhaps suggests that, deep down, you realize all she stands to lose. I don't mean to criticize you. It is natural to want to protect our loved ones. You're an intelligent and gentle person, and I'm sure you would have been able to think about this more objectively were you not so emotionally involved in the situation. I'm sure you admire Lady Hiragi for being the independent, gentle, resilient, and strong-willed person she is. For the sake of marrying you, this wonderful woman will become someone who has to depend on you for the rest of her life. Are you really okay with that?
I love her with all my heart, and would do anything to make her happy. That's why I cannot abide to see her suffer or be manipulated by other people. Yashiro, Commissioner, you're right. It was naive and selfish of me to take things this far. But it's too late now, isn't it? There are notices everywhere.
I have a plan, but it needs a villain. Sir Kujo, in order for my plan to work, you and I must both play the role of antagonists. But it is not without its risks. Are you willing to help?
If there's a way to salvage this, then let's hear it.
I've told the people at the Kanjo Commission that the marriage isn't going to unify the Kanjo Commission and the Tenryou Commission. On the contrary, it's a terrible idea that will marginalize the Kanjo Commission. The context for this is that they are planning to use this marriage to bring down the Hiragi clan, and the key to their success is coming up against no resistance to the marriage from the Tenryou Commission. But what if we were to imagine for a moment that since the affairs of the Vision Hunt Decree, the Tenryou Commission has been planning to make a move against the weakened Kanjo Commission? The only reason you have been hesitant to act since taking over the Tenryou Commission is because you care about Lady Hiragi's feelings. And so, your plan is to liaise with the Yashiro Commission to marry her and bring her out of the Kanjo Commission as soon as possible. Once that is achieved, as the person in charge of the Tenryou Commission, you no longer have any reason to hesitate.
I see. This is an ingenious plan. It takes advantage of the situation perfectly.
This will make Hiragi Chisato indispensable.
Exactly. Our purpose is to change Lady Hiragi's position from an unnecessary burden to an indispensable asset. By doing so, we can even strengthen her position in the Kanjo Commission. Once our adversaries realize how the network of connections behind the scenes really looks, they'll do their utmost to stop this wedding from happening. Then, we simply leave them to clear up the mess they've created.
Got it.
So the network of connections? This is all way too complicated for Paimon. Can you just tell us what you need us to do?
We have to make sure that the behind-the-scenes story comes to the attention of our dear friends in the Kanjo Commission. Matsura, with whom I spoke earlier, will now be fearing the worst. No doubt he'll be on the lookout for the first sign of a crisis. In that case, he will almost certainly have placed informants throughout Inazuma City. What we need to do is to use these informants as a breeding ground for our fake intel. Sir Kujo, there are certain things that I need you to attend to personally. It's almost time. My ninja has located one of the informants. Let's go and see if he'll take the bait.
Okay. Also, to be fair, near the start of that cutscene, my brain stopped because of that really loud notification. By the way, the silence is enabled, so it's like a forced notify system. Also, considering that emergency alert, if the stream ends, that means the power went out. So, if the power goes out, the stream is automatically over. So, I mean, ever since, my power went out at one point when I was, streaming a few months ago, I decided that if something like that ever happens again, the stream is just done for today. For that day. So, okay. Go and observe the Kanjo Commission informant. Wherever they are. Down here. Fly. People are at the bulletin board.
That person is one of Matsura's informants. Let's follow him. Be careful not to get seen.
Oh dear. Sneaky mission. I hate sneaky missions.
Did you see that? Sir Kujo Kamaji just came past here with a huge group of people.
Could it be related to the wedding announcement?
Maybe, but from the look on his face, it seems like something much more serious. He and his men seem pretty intense at the moment. Isn't it all a bit excessive for a wedding?
Okay. Oh no. Did he see me? No, he couldn't have. You just had to be sneaky, tiny bit sneaky, do not...
The Tenryou Commission has sent a load of people to Rito. I guess it must have something to do with the wedding. I think in all there must have been about 100 people so far.
That doesn't sound good. What could be going on? I hope it's just Sir Kujo Kamaji being overcautious.
Okay. I got stuck.
The news is spreading fast, but it appears Master's fears may be well placed. There's no way they sent this many people just to escort the bride. I have to investigate.
He ran off!
As expected. Let's follow him.
Wow! It's like the whole Tenryo Commission is here.
Excuse me, has something happened on this road? I'm a businessman passing through, and it's a little disconcerting to see this place so heavily guarded.
Ah, please don't be alarmed. As I'm sure you've heard, the wedding of Sir Kujo Kamaji and Lady Hiragi Chisato will take place any day now. Sir Kujo decided to send for Lady Hiragi ahead of time and have her live in Inazuma City during the run-up to the wedding.
I see.
We are here to clear the way for Lady Hiragi. Not just us either. You'll see more Tenryo Commission members as you go further along. We're all here for the same duty.
Isn't this a little excessive?
Sir Kujo holds Lady Hiragi in the highest regard and wants to treat her with the utmost respect from beginning to end.
I understand. Sorry to disturb your work. Drat. It's exactly as Master feared. They say they're here to guard the road, but really they're poised to attack if Master doesn't allow Lady Hiragi to leave Rito. Wait, no. If Lady Hiragi does leave, they'll have all the more reason to strike. But we're in no state to defend against a Tenryo Commission attack. I must tell Master right away.
He ran off again!
Now he realizes how serious this situation is.
That should do it. The seeds have been sown. In this atmosphere, mounting suspicion will nurture fear among the Kangjo Commission. Now, we wait patiently for it to grow and ferment. The calm before the storm is always the part that unsettles people the most.
Are they really gonna own up and apologize, just like that?
If you're curious to find out, you can visit the Hiragi clan in Rito in a couple of days. I have some other business to attend to, so I won't be spending any more time on this situation. In any case, we've made our move. It's only a matter of time before they give up and surrender.
Why are you so confident?
This is not my first time. Well then, goodbye for now. I truly hope that things will work out in Hiragi Chisato's best interests.
He left kind of abruptly. Are things really gonna turn out like he predicted?
Well, let's keep an eye on things until the end.
Paimon too. Well, let's go to Rito again in 2 days.
So we literally wait a whole 2 days? Wow, we literally wait 2 days. Okay, so we're just gonna stand right here and... Oh, okay, the map. Gonna stand right here and then, mess with the clock. 1, 2... Better it'd be morning time, though. Okay, let's do this. Oh god, the noise loops. Just taking a little more of this boba. It's tasty. I'm gonna change it to the daytime so it's not like 8 p.m. at night. Go to Rito to check on the situation. We'll teleport right outside town. to the people of Rito. You know, my favorite part about the whole waiting, like time passing thing mechanic is that it's like we're literally standing in place. It's like Elder Scrolls. You're literally just standing in place for more than 24 hours or something, and people are like imagine people in universe. They're probably like, what's happening? Why are you just standing here for like so long? Anyways.
Hello. How may I help?
What are you doing?
We arrived here 2 days ago to escort Lady Hiragi to Inazuma City. Sir Kujo Kamaji gave us very strict orders, so we have to obey. But every time we attempt to receive the bride, the Hiragi clan always finds an excuse to delay things. Since we haven't fulfilled our duties yet, we decided to stay in Rito until Lady Hiragi is ready to come with us.
Everyone is scared.
We apologize. It was not our intention to stay here so long. We promise our presence here will not impact ordinary people's lives. We can only hope that the leaders of the Hiragi clan will start to cooperate soon. If this stalemate continues, who knows? Sir Kujo might give us orders to be less accommodating.
Okay, give me a second. Weather outside where I live is getting pretty tough. It's really raining. I do have a question though, although I feel like no one will answer, but do tornadoes and rainstorms happen at the same time? Yeah, I want to get up, but I can't. I'm lazy. Stuck in my chair.
These people from the Tenryou Commission have been here for days now.
I guess they're here to pick up Lady Hiragi. But why would it be taking so long?
I heard that the Kanjo Commission suddenly said they don't want Lady Hiragi to leave. To be honest, I'd be hesitant if I were her. A crowd this size comes to Rito? Who knows what they could be planning?
Shh, stay quiet. Someone might hear you.
Oh, right. Sorry. How did things get to this point?
Also, again, if the stream goes out, that means the power goes out, and that's just the end of the stream for today. If it happens. What the?
How much longer does your master plan to hold them off?
Before we continue with this, I swear I didn't really see these NPCs standing like they should. Before this, but okay.
I have no idea. We're stuck in limbo here. Master's been very on edge these past few days. He gets irate over the smallest things, and is suspicious of everything. He's been yelling at me a lot. I understand that he's anxious, but I mean, what can we do? I've told him before, never cross the Yashiro Commissioner.
Yeah, good advice. With him, you just know that whatever he's doing, a lot of preparation has gone into it. If Lady Hiragi is really taken away, then what will the Tenryou Commission do? And what will the Yashiro Commission do?
Maybe we should tell Master to discuss things with Lady Hiragi.
Hiragi Chisato is now at the center of every conversation in Rito. By now, the Kanjo Commission probably knows how important she is. But what about what she thinks? Let's go and see.
Oh, Traveler! I assume you've heard about everything that's been going on out there. What on earth is happening?
Don't worry, we can explain everything. So, what happened was...
Hold on. Someone might be eavesdropping.
After the Tenryou Commission arrived, they suddenly became alarmed. They keep having secretive discussions and won't allow me to have any direct contact with the Tenryou Commission. I never would have thought that this was Sir Kamisato's plan. Now it all makes sense.
Since we last met, have you made your mind up?
I'm sorry. I haven't. Maybe there's no right or wrong decision. Maybe everything would be easier if I simply didn't have the choice. I used to tell myself things like this to avoid having to think about it. But once I saw the notices appearing out of nowhere on the streets, signaling that the wedding was confirmed, I didn't feel reassured at all. Instead, I felt a great sense of regret. I keep thinking back to what Sir Kamisato said. This is supposed to be my bright and beautiful future. But what if it's not?
Is that exactly what he is worried about, or you can't really... Well, this is exactly what he is worried about.
I can happily accept that if someone was trying to take advantage of my marriage, I should absolutely refuse to go through with it. But that's not the answer I'm looking for. And also, now that things have escalated to this point, it will be tricky to resolve.
Ah, Lady Hiragi, here you are. You scared me for a second. I thought you'd gone missing. You... Wait, you're the ones who were with the Yashiro Commissioner that day. What do you think you're doing here? Are you trying to convince Lady Hiragi to leave?
Calm down. They're my friends. They're just here to visit me.
Friends? Are you sure? Just friends? Lady Hiragi, I told you already, these are exceptional circumstances. You need to be more vigilant in everything you do. You are extremely important to us, and to the entire Kanjo Commission. Who's to say they don't have a hidden agenda?
If you want to accuse us of trying to abduct her, just come out and say it!
You're acting far less dignified than when we last met.
Don't be rude. You've been very highly strung lately, seeing everything as a threat.
You won't even follow Lady Hiragi's orders now.
Listen to me. I know all the ins and outs of everything that's happened so far. Her arrival might well be your very last chance to fix this. The present state of affairs in Rito shows me that the situation has escalated well past the point where you could hope to control it. If this deadlock continues any longer, we will have nothing to gain and much to lose. This is not an order. All I need you to do is give me an explanation and take responsibility for the situation.
Understood, my lady. I shall discuss with the others right away.
Good job, Chisato! You handled that well!
I was so nervous. But I thought things are now so critical that I should at least give it a try. And it worked remarkably well.
That's what I call a voice of authority.
Yes, well, let's wait and see what happens. I hope they provide a satisfactory response.
We had a serious discussion and reflected on our mistakes. In all honesty, no one can handle the weight of the situation here. Everyone is besides themselves with worry. It'll drive us mad if it continues any longer. I'm so sorry. My actions were radical and duplicitous. I was selfish and ignored the greater good. And then I left the situation to fester. Would you please give us a second chance? For my lady's sake, please give the Kanjo Commission another chance.
It's no use talking to me. You'll have to talk to Kamisato Ayato.
I suppose you're right. The only person who can change the Tenryou Commission's mind will be the Yashiro Commissioner. We'll head off to the Kamisato estate shortly and beseech him to help us with the utmost sincerity. Lady Hiragi, might I ask you to join us? You are the most important person. Without you, we have no other way.
Go to Kamisato Estate to meet Ayato. But give me a second. I need to check out what's going on outside. Okay. At the moment, it's just a very heavy downpour of rain outside. So, I'm okay for the time being.
By the way, aren't you a good friend of the Yashiro Commissioner? Please put in some good words for me.
Sure. Even though, well, yeah. Also, but seriously, is Tomo okay? Got my headset. Oh, mouse. Ayato.
Yashiro Commissioner, I'm sure you've heard the news. The Tenryou Commission has now occupied Rito, refusing to leave until we hand Lady Hiragi over to them. I realize I have greatly offended you with my atrocious actions, and I realize also that this must sound like the very height of absurdity. But please, have mercy, good sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. Matsura. I'm exceptionally busy and have but a moment to spare before my next engagement. I fear this leaves no time for small talk. So, please, if you would be so kind, get straight to the point.
I know our apology means nothing to you, but we really have nothing else left to offer by this point. I'm terribly sorry. Everyone in the entire Kanjo Commission now realizes the gravity of this situation. Lady Hiragi is indispensable to us. We promise to always support her. So, would it be at all possible for you to talk to Sir Kujo once more, on our behalf?
You make it sound so easy. The Tri-Commission will be ridiculed by the public if we choose to withdraw the notices now and eat our words. What do you plan to do about this? To lose face for the Tri-Commission is to bring shame to Her Excellency. Are you and your associates ready to face the thunderous wrath of the almighty Shogun?
We'll take full responsibility. We'll publish a new notice and hold a conference to explain the situation. We will make sure that the public knows this was all a huge misunderstanding. We'll do everything we can to minimize the impact. Everything we can.
Master Matsura, you should have known it would come to this. Whatever were you thinking? But the Tri-Commission must always put the interests of Inazuma first, regardless of what Sir Kujo and I may feel at this present moment. If the situation in Rito is left to fester any further, things may get out of control. But Lady Hiragi and the inhabitants of Rito are innocent. If we fail to contain the situation promptly, the rumor mill will wreak havoc on the Tri-Commission's reputation. Try keeping a pet bird. You'll see what I mean. Songbirds who know how to hold a tune can be very pleasant to listen to, but they can also become irritating if they don't know when to stop. And as for the ones with excessively long tongues, well, they're so insufferable that they can't be kept as pets at all. But it doesn't take a moment to cut out their tongues and silence them for good.
Yes, I understand.
I've listened to your concerns, and I'll talk to Sir Kujo for you. But I can't guarantee that he will change his mind.
I understand. Thank you for your help, Yashiro Commissioner.
All right, you ought to return now. I'm sure you have a sizable mess to deal with back in the Kanjo Commission.
Okay, then please excuse me. Thank you once again, Commissioner.
Ah, yes, Lady Hiragi. I have something to tell you. Would you mind?
Oh? Why, of course. Sir Kamisato, you became a completely different person just now. It felt so intense.
Unruly servants like him need to be severely reprimanded. As a commissioner, the almighty Shogun trusts me to do her will. I did as I should. But now, I'd like to take off my commissioner hat and share a personal story with you.
Oh, please. I'd love to hear it.
You must have heard that the Kamisato clan once went through an extremely difficult period. My father worked incredibly hard to compensate for the grave errors made by the Kamisato clan long ago and restore our reputation. The work took a toll on his health and ultimately led to his untimely demise. My mother loved him dearly. She passed soon after. This sudden turn of events dealt a heavy blow to the Yashiro Commission. Behind the scenes, things became very unstable. Everyone thought that the Kamisato clan had lost power. That made my sister and me nothing but burdens, hindering the ambitions of others. It may sound preposterous now, but I assure you that is the truth of what the Yashiro Commission has been through.
Huh. Pretty similar to how the Kanjo Commission is now.
Back then, I had no choice but to accept the position I was in. While I desperately looked around for powerful supporters, I endured smear campaigns and attempts to exploit me. I had no other choice. I had to honor my parents' dying wishes, and I also had a young sister to take care of. I didn't mind what became of me, but my family. No one can ever be allowed to trample over my precious family. Fortunately, I persisted, and the Kamisato clan was able to survive this storm.
I think I now know where my sense of loss and confusion was coming from. Shinojo once told me that he saw what was in me in a way that no one else did. That's why he couldn't bear to see me live the rest of my life depending on someone else. I thought the reason I felt unsettled was because of uncertainty over getting married. But the fact is, it's because I felt too young and inexperienced to handle the situation facing me.
The reason why Sir Kujo was able to face the prospect of marriage so confidently is because he's prepared for anything.
That's it. The situation I'm facing now is the same one he faced back then. When his clan was in crisis, he bravely drew his blade and challenged the almighty Shogun. And now, it is time for me to make a stand and become my own person.
Well said. I'm sure once you have grown and gained confidence, your father will be able to let go and allow you to decide how you want to live the rest of your life. It might not sound exciting, but this kind of personal growth is a necessary step in the pursuit of true happiness.
And I'm sure I can get there. I will use this as an opportunity to take over the responsibilities of the Hiragi clan. I'll think about marriage again after everything is more settled. This puts less pressure on Kamaji, and means I can support and protect myself without having to worry about becoming a burden or dependent on someone else.
My best wishes to both of you were and remain heartfelt. When the time comes for the wedding to go ahead, I will come to congratulate you once more.
Thank you, Sir Kamisato. I am grateful for everything you have shared with me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lot to deal with back home.
Take care, Lady Hiragi. I'm confident that on your return, you will find your Kanjo Commission associates most receptive to your instruction.
Yes, in fact, my recent experience suggests the same. Thank you once again.
She really has the air of a leader now.
She has a lot of Kamu Kamaji. They're really a good match for each other. This one.
Hats off to you too, sir. Everyone thought there was no way out until you pulled that super smart strategy out of nowhere.
In fact, counter-checking is a perfectly common maneuver in the game of chess. Our rival this time was easy to deal with. He was smart, but short-sighted, and sloppy in his execution. This outcome is entirely within my expectation.
Even so, Paimon could never come up with a plan that cunning in a whole lifetime. Anyway, it's kind of a relief to see that Chisato has decided to set the Hiragi clan straight.
I agree. Stability in Inazuma benefits me as well. I wasn't about to pass up an opportunity to make less trouble for myself.
Speaking about your stance, you weren't in this just to help Chisato, were you?
Well, the fact is that I am first and foremost the Yashiro Commissioner. Perhaps for Master Matsura, power is his life's pursuit. But for me, nothing matters more than the stability of Inazuma. A stable nation is the prerequisite for a stable Yashiro Commission. Only then can the Kamisato clan and the other Yashiro Commission clans have a peaceful existence. But human desire will always be a factor in the equation. This is not the first situation of its kind, nor will it be the last. All I have tried to do is make sure the three parties to the Tri-Commission serve to restrain each other. Stasis is not the only form of stability. A balance of power leaving no room for maneuver achieves the same end.
Balance of power.
Another positive outcome is that everyone recognizes how important Lady Hiragi is now. I think I did her a sizable favor in that regard. Dealing with the Hiragi clan will be much easier for her than navigating a new and unfamiliar one.
There were so many things at play over this one wedding! Wait a second! You weren't trying to stop the wedding from the very beginning, were you?
I thought straight away it was bad timing. Nevertheless, everything I said to Hiragi Chisato was entirely sincere. If you choose to give up your stance on something once, you'll be having to compromise for the rest of your life. I didn't want to see her suffer because she didn't realize what she was getting into. Now, she has the chance to become her own person. Let's see who she becomes.
Okay then, guess we'll have to wait and see.
See you next time.
All right. Farewell, and profuse thanks to you both. I shall have to host you at the Kamisato estate when my sister is next available.
Looks like everything's resolved. Masterfully done. Everything was perfect. Well, except for one minor detail. I somehow ended up with a glass of very peculiar tasting milk.
Oh no.
Didn't you like it? I distinctly remember you saying you are quite partial to exotic flavors.
Oh, my lord?
The Traveler had one of those as well.
I'm sure she's made a great impression on you.
The Traveler did indeed play a critical role in this case. I'm sure both families would have been more guarded against me had she and her companion not been present. It wouldn't have been so easy to get to the heart of the matter.
There you go again, my lord. Placing the focus on other people while discreetly performing your job to perfection.
Naturally. Ah, yes. Now that we're both free, let's finish off that game of chess we started a few days ago.
And that's it. Also, sorry if my phone went off again. I immediately turned it off right after, just in case, so it doesn't disrupt the cutscene again. Look at my primos. Send me one. Okay, all you saw my intertwined fates. I actually have so many of them. Yeah, I would have converted some more fates by now, but I purposely didn't want to because I wanted to keep the number I have. Okay, now that we're done with Kamisato Ayato's story quest, ooh, another one of these things. Pick up. Okay, we got 54. I had to keep track of it. Which one was the one at Dawn Winery? Was it number 1? Because if it was, I already got that. Oh god, they're all talking. Stop talking. But anyways, we are going to poll. But first, I want to change the party to the one I put together for this occasion. Which is this. Because we're going to throw Ayato into the 4th slot. Well, Yunjin might be in it first, and then I have to kick her out. And yeah, because I don't have Yunjin. Oh yeah, I never really told you guys what I did for like the, you know, select a Liu character, like 4-star thing. Yeah, I picked a Chan Yun because I never got his constellation at, like, for like a whole year since I got him from the first event that had the 4-star thingy. And interestingly enough, I got like his C2, like, from an actual standard pull. So he's C2 now. For like the past few months now. Actually, why am I making it sound like it's been like an age or something? I don't know. Whatever. Time's weird. Anyways, we are going to pull for Ayato. And I already have a Venti, as you all know. Where is he? He's right here. I have a Venti. Oh my god, phone, stop it! You know what? How about we just turn off my phone for the rest of the stream because this stupid phone won't shush. This is the 3rd time. I thought putting it under my pillow would muffle the sound, but it didn't. Okay, it's off. I'm turning it off. No more. Got interrupted cutscenes twice. And now it did it again. Oh yeah, I still haven't done the reputation quest to get the battle-like points. Oh, right. Before we get started. And also, let me go get the counter open. I really want to pull for Ayato. I want to get to... Let's go. Oh, yeah, and I should probably also say this. As you all know, I only pull for the guys in this game now. Ever since 1.5, I made that declaration. Or was it 1.6? I don't know. I think when Kazuha was announced, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just get the guys. And it's been paying off very well, as I didn't have to waste all my beautiful intertwined fates. And yeah, I'm keeping that promise very well. Where is my thing? Also, poor Toma, the milk that was sent to him. Okay. Anyways, so yeah. And, of course, because I only pull for the guys, I tend to have a ridiculous amount of intertwined fates. And I purposely didn't convert my primos this time because I managed to actually collect 420 It's so silly, but I purposely collected 420 intertwined fates for this very occasion. Because I noticed I was getting close to that number. And the last time I pulled was on January 27th. 2 months ago. Because there was no banner to pull in 2.5. Okay, that's Zhongli. My first ever 50-50 win. Also have Boba. If I didn't mention that, even though I mentioned it like 3 times by now. Anyways, I got Zhongli on the... Oh, crap. I'll worry about the count later. Because I just realized I put I've been like listing how many pity like number count it takes to get 5 stars now, and I turned on my phone and I'll just remember later. Okay. Anyway, so basically, I have 9 pity. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. And yeah, we're ready. Yeah, so that was a 50-50 win. My first ever, even though it took 81 from the last time I got a 5-star. But it was worth it. Anyways, we're going to be pulling right here because I kind of told myself I'm standing on this table at the Kamisato estate to get Ayato. So that's what I'm going to do. And also, wait. Oh yeah, and also, to continue on what I said about like, that I only pull for the guys in this game now. Several times, right after like Ayato's picture and like some information was dropped, I immediately was like, you know, on the day I'm gonna pull for him, I'm gonna be like, sorry Ayaka, I'm gonna get never mind. It's so embarrassing to say now, but basically I'm like, sorry Ayaka, I'm just gonna get your brother from the banner and leave. So bad. But I said something like that. Anyways. Oh, right, my Sealy! Sealy! Can I? No, change the day. Or just change it a little brighter. Okay, the sunlight is more peaked. Anyways, let's go pull. I'm on 9 pity, and I got the featured 5-star last time. So let's see how many it'll take this time. Okay, 10. Oh. Okay. Oh, I'm not. Oh, I think that's my last consolation. Is it? Okay, don't accidentally. Oh, yep, that's C6, Xiangling now. Okay, this Xiangling. I'm a little nervous. I don't want to activate C6 Bennett. Okay, that was 10 right now, so we're at 19. Okay, again, 2. Still purple. Got a Sucrose. You know, it's 10, so 29. Oh dear. This happens every single time I collect this many. This game does not want me to get a 5-star early, ever. It doesn't. It hates me. I mean, I have a few times, but... you know. Another Sucrose. 39. Come on. No! Oh. Okay. Okay, that's 49 now. Wait, I have... never mind. Oh god, flag. Oh, there's Genshin. Took a while. 59. Oh, she's in the party now. Great. We need to kick her out. Get out. Get out. 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 Get out. Oh, that's my friends. No. Wait, it's L. Why am I pressing P? Out. Get out. Okay, we're on 59, right? Yeah, I used 50. So, yeah, we're on 59. Oh my god, I just realized what number we're on this time. Ah, nothing. It would have been funny if I got a gold from this. Considering what's plus 10 after this. I got a sword. Lovely. Okay, we're on 70 minus 1. Come on! 5-star! There you go! One. Oh, whoops. No. Okay, 2. 3. 4. 5. Oh, it's actually 74. 75? 76? 77. Oh my gosh. 78? Oh my gosh, it's on the exact last one. No! 79, it is a GG. Dang it! I failed the 50-50. We're not giving up. I literally collected so many of these for a reason. Okay, that's exactly 79. Give me a second. I need to write this down on sticky note for my other note later. Oh my god. Yeah, I only won the 50-50 once. This game really doesn't like me. I'll write it under something. Okay. Where's my things? This. Wait, this. What was that? I heard a person. Okay, now it's back to 0. Disappointment. God, I thought it would be the day. Boba! Anyways, I still don't have Kuching, by the way. Anyways, we're exactly at 0 pity, because the game is mean. Anyways. Get him! No! I got an off-banner Barbara. I would have preferred a Toma, though. Mean. I don't have Toma constellations. Okay. Yeah, see, the thing is, when I collect so many orbs, the game fates, intertwined fates. Like, the game is mean. This game really doesn't want me to get Ayato. Come on! Oh, well, thank goodness. Whatever, next update will be, I'm skipping. Oh god, that kind of lagged when it was trying to show me everything. Come on! No! Hey, this game really doesn't want me to get it anymore. Come on. I've literally used so many of these now. Come on. Oh my god. That many. Oh my god. I hate this. Well, at least we could convert all our things together. Orbs again. Come on! Oh my gosh. Okay, this is 7-10 pulls later. 8. There you go! Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3. I'm sad because it took too long. 4. Okay, 75. 76. It took 77 for him! 77 plus the 79. For that. I got Ayato, but at what cost? Using up all my precious orbs. Okay. Okay, let's go edit this again to say 1. Whoops. 1. 2. 3. Gosh. I finally got a Yato, but at what cost, guys? I got him. I used up literally... Oh my gosh. I've used up so many fates. I had 4... Oh my god. And now he's at the party. Yay! Oh my god. I was hoping my luck would kind of get increased. Oh my god, the game is mean. Bullies. Oh, C. Yeah, cheat. I'm C3. I actually got a C2 from Standard Banner, by the way. And now we have... Oh gosh. Oh wow! And in this entire banner, I've only got like 3 Yunjins. Well, we're never gonna use her, so it's fine. Bunch of things. Oh yeah, I did check the wiki on that. Anyways. Stop saying notifications. Okay, we got a Yato after using about... I need a calculator. How many primo gems is that technically? Okay, it was 70 and then took like 80. Wait, how many do I have right now? I need to do math. Quick math. That took 150 intertwined fates. Now let's multiply that by the primo. That is the equivalent of 24,000 primo gems. How many do I still have? Like, if I count the fates. I still have 43,000. Okay, we're not all sad. Oh, it took so long, but at what cost? My god, this game never was... Oh my gosh. This is the first time I didn't get lucky with a 5-star or anything right after. Like, it took all the way up to 70 for both of them. Why? Why is the game so mean? My luck was not this down ever. Has it ever been? No, I don't think it ever has. I'm pretty sure every single time I pulled, my luck wasn't this sour. Like, sure, it took like 70 to 80 to get one character, like 5-star, but it's usually less than that, like right after or before. I don't know, a good example was when I was pulling for Ito. Actually, no. Like when I was pulling on the Albedo rerun before Ito, and okay, I'll level up Ayato in a bit, but it was like, also this is exactly why I only pull for the guys. I have so many primos. Maybe the table was super cursed. It didn't give me anything. I did stand on a table. Anyways. But it's like with Albedo where I got 2 5-stars in a single pull. It still took a while to get another 5-star, which I failed. But then I got Albedo 10 after, and then I got another 5-star fail right after too. And yeah, my luck hasn't been the greatest since the last banner I pulled on. But anyways, I even got the boba for this today. Yeah, okay. Anyways, let's go take a look at him. Yes. Also was to Chris Acme. We'll read these as season luck. There's so many things. Oh, the birthday line. Let's hear.
Happy birthday. Now, how would you like to be Yashiro Commissioner for a day? All the work has been handled already, so you can focus on simply enjoying the feeling of having an enormous amount of executive power at your fingertips. Don't worry, the retainers won't dare question it. I'll be with you the entire time.
Okay. So he has lines for Obviously, sister, Toma, Sayu, Yoimiya, Ishogun, Yae, Sara, Kazuha, Ito, and apparently Ningguang. I wonder what that's about. Anyways, I suffered for this. Time to level you up. Ascend! Also, I prepared very efficiently. He also used crit damage scaling. Cool.
Did I just grow more competent? Goodness, how marvelous.
I'm drinking boba. I am prepared for this. Let's go level him.
At the end of the day, power is only a source of comfort when it is concentrated in one's own hands. Ah.
This audio animation not great. It scared me. Okay, let's keep going. We have all these for a reason. But that's a lot of crit damage it gets from leveling.
Ah.
His voice line is so loud in my ear. I don't know if that's just me.
I'm sure certain people are starting to grow rather nervous right about now.
Okay. Continue leveling.
Ah.
Boba. Okay, and one last one. Just level first. Just up to 80 because I always do this.
I've had very few chances to kick back and put my feet up since taking over leadership of the clan. But things have felt curiously different since having you around. Ah.
Wait, was there one? Okay, stop. I didn't know if I cut off there. It's fine. Anyways, we got him. Oh, we first have to get the level notification to stop. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take a while. But I really got Ayato. Curse my luck being a little sour though. I'm upset. Here we go. Oh wait, first. We used up so much more. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Recently, because I've been playing Trails, I've been the currency in Trails in Universe is called Mira. And I may have called it Mora by accident thanks to Genshin like several times. Let's see, Ayato. Yeah, look at his HP. That's a lot of HP. Oh yeah, I do have a sword. I'm gonna switch it. We also have all the thingies. Oh, right, I forgot. I need to go do this again. have a sword that I'm gonna switch. Oh gosh. Oh god. There's so many of these. This one. Yeah. It's on Gene because I put all the things I want to put on him on Gene. I love his animation so much. I could have so much fun. Also, I need to mentally recover from using 150 orbs. Oh yeah, that is something I also want to say. For some reason, I feel like, I even said this like when I was pulling for Zhongli, that I'm like, why does it feel like this game? Like, because I'm purposely only pulling for the guys. And, what's the word again? Like, and saving a bunch of intertwined fates. I feel like the game knows that. And it's like, you know what? We're gonna make her use all her intertwined fates to get every 5-star from now on. Or something. And it's so disappointing. How dare. I was so hoping I was going to get a 5-star early today. I didn't get early either time. This is the only time where, like, for both times, like, not back to back, but, like, where I pull for a 5-star that I want. To be fair, if I think about it, it might have taken just as much if I did continue pulling for Zhongli back in 1.5. Actually, wait! No, not really. Well, actually, from failed 50-50 to guarantee, yes, but, like the first time, yes. But another time it said, like, I did, technically speaking, when I did pull for Venti a year ago, it took 75. And then my failed 50-50 was somewhere around less than 80 pulls. I think 78 pulls later on Zhongli's banner. At the time, a year ago, so, that was the only other time where, when I was getting a 5-star, it took, like, around 70 pulls each for both times. It took 80 for this one. I got 3 pity now. I want to kill something in this game. Where's the enemies? Oh yeah, I could do the daily things. Yeah, I have a Mondstadt because I'm trying to get, like, the achievements. Oh wait, I have to put the Yunjin in. Oh yeah, she's level 1 because I'm not gonna level her. I got her. She'll just be down here with all the other level 20. Okay. Okay, that's enough. Anyways, I'll figure things out on my own. Also, because, you know, the game added these lovely little things, I will have to find them all. Because apparently there's, 56 or something. I don't know how many there are. Oh, look how many I have of this. Anyways, that's not relevant. I'm just looking. Anyways, it took 150 total pulls after, like, the initial 9 pity. Anyways, at least I got him, and hopefully the next update, because of the characters that Mihoyo, I mean, not, they're called Hoyoverse now, right? Like, because of the characters official Genshin Twitter revealed. Why am I talking like this? But anyways, based on what the characters revealed are now, I don't think there will be any banner I'll be pulling in the future. Well, unless Tartaglia returns, because he's the only male character I'm missing in this game. Let's take a look. Yeah, he's the only one I'm missing. And it's pretty sad.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl.
Yeah, the only male character I'm missing. Technically, I would have pulled for him, but I didn't trust my luck when 2.2 dropped because I wanted Toma more than anything. So, I unfortunately skipped. I have been preparing materials on the side, so if I get him, I can immediately ascend him and not have to worry about it. That. Anyways, let's go here real quick. My ears, ow. Yeah, I'll probably end the stream. My ears hurt from wearing this headset. I did say I was going to collect those, like, golden disc, like, stuff that's been lying around the entire area now. Like, world. But, I think I'd rather do that on my own for today. Especially since, my phone kept going off. Seriously, I have it on silent, but I'm guessing for emergency alerts, like, they just automatically think it's off and make noise. Lame. And also, ironically, it's relatively calm outside now, so I don't know why it keeps notifying me, even though I turned it back on a while ago, so... It's off again, so... Also, if I go here... Yeah. Also, I still don't get this. Why are we staring into the ground? Anyways. Yeah, but anyways, I think that'll be all for today's stream. So, we did Ayato's story quest. I failed the 50-50 again on the banner. Oh my god, I will never win 50-50. I won it once with Zhongli before, but it took 80 just to get him. Oh my gosh, I just realized. This is the longest it took for me to get a 5-star 3 times in a row. Oh no. Like before it was just only 2. Yeah, as I said, I feel like the game is cursing me for like just saving orbs now, that it wants me to use up all my orbs just to get characters now. Thankfully, no. This makes me glad that there's no new male character revealed, because I don't think I could handle this loss too well. I just like to save a lot, because apparently on average it would take like 180 just to get a 5-star. Like less than 180 if you fail 50-50. So anyways, yeah, that'll be all for today's stream. For the most part, we did Ayato's story quest and got Ayato, as you can see. I'm happy. It may have to do with what I said right before I pulled for him. But anyways, that's not the point. I got him. I'm happy. Oh, what else? Oh yeah. So yeah, the story quest. It was a really enjoyable one. I love it. And next time I will be doing the Archon quest. This one. I'll do it next time. As long as I don't accidentally talk to Catherine and Leah, for at least 24 hours. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing next time. And I'm not doing that today because considering Archon quests, they probably take quite a while, like 3 hours. Like around like 2 to 3 hours, depending on what it is. So that'll be for next time because of how long it's gonna be. And we might even look at the chasm as well. Because I really want to explore this. I haven't gotten into the domain yet because of laziness. Well, it's not really lazy, it's just more like it looks like I have to do something to get it because I tried to check it out, but there was a blocked pathway, so yeah. Oh, I want to get up here. I think I could at least get these waypoints if I can. Oh yeah, and also thanks to people sharing screenshots, there is another area to the chasm mines. Obviously, I have not seen it yet because I just got that part of the map filled in. So yeah, we'll be saving that for next time. And there might be another stream as well after doing the Archon quest, just continuing to explore the chasm. So yeah, there'll be at least like 3 streams total related to this update. And when the event starts, I will also what else? Oh yeah, when the event starts, it will be pre-recorded, so it's not going to be streamed live, unfortunately. But do not worry, it'll be a lot of fun. And for all my reactions, just go on the YouTube channel. That's where all the recordings will be. So anyway, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all next time.